Life podcast. I'm your host, Crystal, and today we have a very special episode. I have my friends here with me. We're going to talk about good friend etiquette. What is required when being a friend? On this podcast, we focus on being a high-value connection. What does that mean? It means that pretty much when you interact with someone, they leave you feeling better than what they came. We're all about giving and serving and loving authentically. So today I have two special guests with me. We have Amelia Mitchell and Kristen Glanton. I'm going to read their official bios and then we're going to get right into the conversation. Amelia Mitchell, lover, explorer, innovator, and leader is who she is. Amelia is passionate about people, and as a former successful senior professional with over a decade of experience in operations, sales, startups, and business development, she has had the joy of serving others and creating impact. She is on a mission to teach financial literacy to young people using gamification and helping women develop wellness practices through self-discovery application. Amelia is an ambassador for the term idiom. She is a full-time student and entrepreneur. She holds 2 full-time positions with major conglomerates in their respective industries, and she serves as Vice President Board of Directors for the regional chapter of the National Angels, her proudest accomplishment to date in 2023. Kristen Glanton is a communications specialist with expertise that has helped expand companies within the banking, healthcare, energy, and legal industry. With over 20 years of experience, she has engaged in community, government, and media relations, corporate communications, event planning, and content management. Kristen is a proud journalism graduate of Florida A&M University and has also studied in the field of culinary arts at Johnson & Wales University. 2 things she is quite passionate about are food and film. Nothing excites her more than pursuing a new menu or bringing the latest thriller.
Hold up. You went to Johnson & Wales? You know that's where I go now, right?
No.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
All this time.
Come through, J-Woo. Okay, sorry, girl.
Okay.
Now, you guys are good. Okay, so today we had this conversation. We all work together. And we had this conversation. I was looking for ideas for what does it mean to, like, what is good friend etiquette? You know, like you have a friend. What is expected of your friends? And these ladies had me rolling on the floor. And they brought a lot of good points that I didn't really consider. So what do you guys think it means to have, what is expected of your friend? Like, if we're friends, what are you expected to do?
Okay, I guess I'll go. Man, good friend etiquette to me is just someone that is supportive.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest word for me. I actually was thinking on the way here, like, what does friendship mean to me? Mm-hmm. And I think for the longest, it was always about, like, the foundation. Like, we've built something really great, and we're going to have this forever. But what I've realized through my own trials and tribulations with friends is that you could have a solid foundation and it still be kind of whack.
Yeah, that's facts.
And just because something may be older doesn't mean that it's better than the newness, right? Mm-hmm. So support is really the biggest thing for me when it comes to friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is, I have friends from Florida A&M University that are my tightest friends ever, and it's about 20 of them.
I'm sorry, did you say 20?
It's 20.
When she said, I was like, 2-0?
Right.
It's 20. We met our freshman year in college, and we are tight. So we've been through marriages, divorces, babies. Everybody's parents are all of our parents. We absolutely love each other. But the most important thing is letting us be who we are and accepting each other for who we are. I have one good friend within that group who I might not talk to but once a year. But we pick up like we've never left each other. Each time we talk, nobody holds each other accountable necessarily for, not speaking. We don't hold that over each other. We still love each other like we have never left each other. It's all like we just met each other again freshman year in college. So it's just letting you be who you are and not, holding that against you, holding your flaws against you.
How do you do that with 20 other
right?
I mean, I love that.
Right,
I love
I'm for
hearing
it.
that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, in what world? Are you all friends the same way, or is it maybe like three friends are super close?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Within the group, yeah, we have our besties, we have our favorites, but we are all very, very tight. And just about at least every year or every other year, we all get together for family reunions. We consider ourselves family, so you know, we travel together, we love together, we fight together, we figure it out. And we are across the country, but we make it work. And we met each other freshman year in the dorms, and we have not let go.
Okay, that's very different. I don't think I've ever heard anyone who said like
No,
especially as a grown adult.
Yes,
I understand kids. You got friends for days, like you know.
Friends,
but as an adult, 20 friends. That's crazy. We gonna have to have all y'all on it. Now I'm joking.
I don't know if I've had 20 friends in my life.
Right, all at the same time. I don't think
it's work now. Don't get me wrong.
Okay,
we
gonna get into that. But when you said, Amelia, you said that one of the most important things for you as a friend is the support. What does the support look like in a practical way? So, like, for instance, you're doing like the most. You got like 3 jobs, in school full time, working on different projects.
She has 100 jobs.
Right. So we're not even counting anymore. We lost count.
God.
Right. What does support look like for you in this time of your life as a friend?
I was going to say it's definitely different in this season.
Okay.
But I also think it's something that I needed previously that I wasn't getting from the friendships that I had. In this season, when I say support, it's because I have so much going on. Like in the moments when I'm maybe in my head, or there's like head trash, or I'm like maybe imposter syndrome wants to creep in or anything like that. Or if I'm just feeling like not super confident in the moment, if I can call on you and be like, yo, okay.
Right.
What do you think about this? Like, what's happening? And then, like, instead of being like, oh, okay, girl, it's going to be all right. Or, dang, I'm sorry. Well, anyway, it's like, well, no, like, let's have a conversation about it. Like, ask me questions so I can start to dig within myself. Yeah. Because that also helps me with my self-discovery with whatever it is that I'm dealing with.
They work it out with you.
Right. Yes. Help me unpack this.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, I get that. I remember I was in a really bad relationship.
Romantic relationship?
Yeah, a really bad romantic relationship. And I remember when my girls really came through for me, I was stuck. It was horrible. It was somewhat abusive. And I could not find a way to get out of it. I was in a whole nother state and city, away from friends and family. And those girls called each other on the side and pooled all of their money together.
Wow.
And called me and said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to leave or we're coming to get you.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, the money's in your account. Make it happen.
That's support.
You got something to spare? You got a couple of funds to spare?
But they got me out of there within 24 hours.
I love that.
And I was out of there from Louisiana all the way back to Florida. I was out of there. I sold my car. They had a plane ticket for me, packed up all of my boxes, U-Haul, all of that, gone. I mean, and it was just no question about it.
That's like a Lifetime movie. Y'all remember the Lifetime movies back in the day?
Yeah.
Like when the women was going through and like they had to like create little.
Back in the day, like yesterday, Lifetime movies are still like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's the movie reviewer, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's definitely support. So what are some of the ways that you feel, because you have 20 friends, how do you practically, because you said it's a lot of work, how do you show up for them? What are some things that you're super intentional about doing?
Well, I have one good friend. If she ever hears this, love you. But, and she knows who she is. But, yeah, she likes to take a lot of duck-offs. You know, she likes to take a lot of breaks from family and friends and life. But I am her ride or die, right? So if she tells nobody else anything, she tells me. And I know where she is. I know what she's doing. We have a special word for when things go down.
Wow.
So I'm going to find her if something happens. Like, she knows that I will go to the ends of the earth for her. I make things happen. Everyone knows that I'm the person that's going to make things happen. If you need me, I'm there for you. I'm going to curse you out later, but right now, I got you.
Right.
And that's how I'm there for my friends.
So you're the strong friend.
Yeah, I'm tearing everything down. And I don't care. Even if I piss you off in the process, I'm taking care of you.
There's so many things to unpack in that statement.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how did you...
Because I believe her wholeheartedly.
I do. I was like, oh, shoot, when I have a problem, I'm going to call Kristen.
Pineapples, person, pineapples. Okay?
So how did you establish, because how long has these 20 people friend relationship, how long has, you said from A&M?
Yep.
So that's like when you were like 18.
Yep. I don't want to age myself here, but 1998. So do that math.
I was not even thinking that.
Yeah, do that math.
Wow.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. So I want to understand, okay, so this friend that ducks off, how did you establish that she could come to you? Were you the one who was always chasing her down?
No, because I got my secrets too. She know all my stuff. She knows all my stuff. She knows where all the bodies are hidden. Right. Okay. So you just gotta have, it's always nice to have at least that one person that accepts you all for you. It's so nice. It's so comforting that you can go. Like, you can fuss. She can call me and tell me her kids are being jerks, and I can complain about maybe my husband being too mushy. I don't know, and not be judged about that. Right. It's nice. I don't know if you guys have that, but it's just, having a completely 100% non-judgmental relationship is.
Do you have that?
I do.
Is that non-judgmental relationship your best friend? That's your bestie?
Yes. I will say, though, I think there is, even though I know I can be like fully vulnerable, because of the way our lives are set up, I don't know that we always know all the things.
What do you mean?
So it might be she doesn't know what's happening in the moment, but like, if we get together or when I get to see her or whatnot, it's like, okay, girl, we got to run everything down. So it's like, we're not necessarily like knowing like what's happening today on Sunday, but like if I see her next month, she'll know what happened on Sunday.
What happened on Sunday.
Right.
But let me ask you this. Are you guys afraid to set each other straight?
No.
Okay.
We do that. And we don't do it. We do it in a way that's still kind of like kidding. We'll be like, okay, all right, you're tripping. Like,
Yep.
Who does that?
Yep.
And it's not like, we don't take offense to it, because I think, and also our friendship started off a little rocky. We weren't even really friends. We worked together when I was in college. And she had an issue with something I said about her now fiance, who was my boss at the time. And I was like, yeah, you're going to have to relax. Oh, wow. We're not doing that. So it started off a little rocky. And then in one instance, we just clicked because of something she was going through. And then we were like inseparable ever since. Okay. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, based on what we've said so far, about I guess, I don't even know if we're still talking about etiquette anymore.
We're not.
But in terms of like the requirements of a friend, or I guess the formula for a good friendship, I feel is where we ended, or where we're at now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like someone who supports you, someone who you can be completely yourself with. And
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Very
being vulnerable with. So in terms of being vulnerable, like in your situations, I know it's going to be hard for you when you're 20, but in your situations, who initiated the vulnerability?
I'm the strong friend in most instances. So it's the other person, generally. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Okay.
Same.
And then
probably for the most part, I've had the friend call me crying and breaking down first, and then I knew I would be able to do that with them, at a later date, which I have, but I was never the first one. I usually, with my issues, I just duck off into a corner and take care of mine until I'm okay, and then I reemerge from the shadows.
We are the same.
Yes.
I'm Patrick. I go on Willow Rock.
You figure it
and then
out.
after I kind of, dealt with it and figured out what was going on, it'd be like, hey, y'all, I'm back.
I'm back.
They'd be like, yo, where you was at? I was chilling.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about, what are the expectations of your friends in terms of responding to you?
What do you mean?
Like, if you send a text or you call them.
It depends on the friend.
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, no, give the example.
Like, okay, well, if you text and call them, is there a certain, like, limit or timeline where just like, all right, like, it shouldn't really be taking you this long to respond to me?
I mean, no, but for me, etiquette is etiquette. Like, if somebody sends you an email at work, you're not going to be like, I'll get back to you in 3 days. Right? I mean, I guess you could. Like, it's not, but I just think there's just an unwritten or unspoken rule just in general, but especially when it's a friend. Like, if you text me at 2:49, okay, I'm doing something right now, but I should be getting back to you, like, before the day is up, generally. It doesn't always happen, and I get it. Like, sometimes it slips through the cracks for me.
Yeah.
But generally, I try to stay on top of that because I do think that's a part of letting the person know that they are a priority to an extent.
Okay.
My friends know me. They know my habits. They know that. They know that they can't call me at 3:00 in the afternoon because by 4:00 I'm going to be driving home, and I would like to listen to my podcast on the way home to relax. Okay, they can't call me at 9:00 in the afternoon because I'm going to be sitting out on my balcony listening to a true crime podcast and relaxing before I take my bath. Don't bother me during those times. You know that. If it's an emergency, then let me know it's an emergency. But don't just call and then be mad because I didn't return your call, because you know me and you know my habits, just like I know you.
But y'all already set that up, though.
They know me, I know them.
So if they get mad, that's a them problem.
That's
not
a them, exactly.
So
I would assume.
Did you, like, tell them, like, hey, this is what I'm doing? Like, how does that conversation?
Yeah, it just goes from, we figure it out through conversation. Like, they'll call me during, maybe 7:00, and I'm like, I'm doing my mindful eating right now. I can't talk to you, And eventually, after 2 or 3 times, they're like, okay, yeah, I know what Kristen's doing right now. So send me a text and say, I know this ain't the time. And just like, oh my God, friends with children, I have to tiptoe around that too,
girl.
So I can't call you at 2:30 or 3:00, because you in the car, you in the minivan.
You're not gonna hear nothing.
You're not gonna hear nothing.
And I don't want to. Let's be clear. I don't want to call with the kids in the car. Okay.
So yeah, it's not just me living my lovely grown non-children, maternal children life. It's me making allowances for them as well. I know when not to talk to them as well. So
that's what I was going to say. I think it also depends on the person and what they have going on.
Yeah.
Which doesn't negate, like, I don't see you or I differently. Like, you're married with children. I'm completely single with no children. However, that does not negate how precious my time is and how precious your time is.
Right.
I do, however, understand that you do have a whole family. So I'm not going to text you at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, my time is set up a little bit different.
Yeah, I'm not going to text you at 10 o'clock. Where somebody could text me and I might respond. I'm probably not.
You're not. You're sleeping.
But if they did, it wouldn't like throw the whole thing off because I don't have all the outside factors going on.
You're not going to get salty just because you can't talk to her during, like, whenever school pickup is or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because I'm horrible at responding sometimes. Sometimes I will type out the message, and then something will happen, and my phone's down, and I pick it up, and I'm looking like,
Well, the way my OCD is set up, I don't like seeing alerts. So, like, I'll open the text, so I don't see, like, you have one message waiting. So I need Apple to, like, figure something out to where if I can't respond, then I can just, like, unread it.
So notification's still there.
That'd be dope.
Hello, Apple.
Yeah. But I think it's important for friends to trust their friend's heart.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm not shady. Like,
Yes.
I'm not a shady person. There's things that, we still working on, but
Yeah.
shadiness, that's not really my struggle.
Right.
So know that if I don't text you back, it's not because
I'm ignoring you.
right, and I'm being,
And I also think it could be a conversation though too. It could be like, yo, Crystal, like the
Right.
last 10 times I've texted you, it's
Right.
taking you like 6 days. Like, what's
Right.
up? Especially if it's like something that's, even if it's not an emergency, but it's like if it's something I'm working on, or if we're like, hey, we're going to be accountability partners for X, Y, and Z. But anytime I try to come to you,
yeah.
I really can't get to you.
Now, my girls know
that's the
when
thing.
something is up. Like, I definitely have one girlfriend who is very tight with my mother. And, yeah, the one threat that will get me to call her back is like, yeah, I'm calling Sharon Lynn.
You be like,
So, yeah, I'm like, oh, what? Helfer,
Dang.
what?
That's low.
Like,
She
yeah.
calling your mom.
She
yeah,
will
pull
call.
that trump card.
That's the trump card, Sharon Lynn. Absolutely.
Is she trying to make sure you good? Like, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's right. Usually I'm in that avoidance in my corner stage because something's off. She knows.
So she knows. And she knows how to get you to come out from underneath your rock.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. That's a different level. That's a
Good
different
girlfriends.
level.
Good girlfriends.
So you said there was some other things that we discussed the first time we had this conversation. And one of the things that you said was to keep your mouth shut. I think we were talking about if I tell you something.
I said that, or Kristen?
I don't remember who said it. I just wrote
Keep
it
your
down.
mouth shut.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're having a conversation about something, I mean, whether it's major or not, it's me and you, not me,
Right.
you, and Kristen.
Right.
If I want Kristen to know, then I'll tell her.
her.
It's not we have the conversation, and you be like, yo, me and Amelia just talked about X, Y, and Z. No, you don't do that,
Yeah.
because that's none of Kristen's business at
Agreed.
this time, unless, like I
Absolutely.
said, I decide to share it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I read this quote today that said, even if someone's your good friend, even after the friendship ends, they still will keep your secret.
Yes, keep your mouth
That's,
shut.
I never really considered that. I mean, I don't tell people.
No, I get what you mean, though. It wasn't like a thing.
Like, it wasn't like
Right.
a thing that I was thinking about.
Because it's common sense. Like, you just
Hopefully.
should do it.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what went down, it's still not right for you to
No, it's not.
spread somebody's business.
That means
like
that you were never my friend.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how does that work within your 20 circle sister group?
Oh, it's gotten complicated.
Because you don't know.
Because you got your besties within the
Right.
group, right? And then, like, it always gets a little tough because you want somebody else to talk to vent about something else going on, but you can't because everybody knows each other. So you still have to have, like, an outside,
So you got 10
Group of
other friends
friends.
outside the 20.
basically. Yep.
How?
Yep.
Houseway.
Yeah.
Right.
Houseway.
Like, how? That is absolutely insane.
Yep. You have like 5 different groups of friends. I've made like 5 different groups of friends like over the last 10 or 15 years of my
So
life.
do y'all have like kumbaya moments when y'all beefing with each other? Even though you can't like go to the other person because you all know each
Yeah.
other. Like, how do y'all come together and like deal with the situation? If you can't necessarily like vent to one of the group members.
What do you mean?
So you're saying like if Kristen was a part of the 20
Right.
and you have beef with her, well, we're a part of the 20 and you got beef with her, you can't necessarily come to me because we're friends.
Right.
But how do we deal with it as friends?
You just got to get over it.
Do you confront do you have a lot of like,
No, like if me personally, I'm just going to have one. I'm a confronter.
okay.
Just,
I haven't been on that side yet.
basically, I'm a, put your titties on the glass. Ooh. Sorry. Put it out there, basically, is what I mean. I put it out there. Like, let's have this one-on-one. Let's hash it out. Let's get it out. Let's move on. I'm that type of person, and I'll let my friend know beforehand, the one that has confided in me. Look, I want to have this conversation with this other person, this other friend, because I don't think it's cool. I'm not happy with it personally. If you don't want me to, then I won't. But I need to have this conversation with this person.
On their behalf? On your other friend's behalf, or for you?
It's not even necessarily on their behalf. It's just, if I see trash behavior, I'm calling out trash behavior.
Even if it's not towards you. Even if it's towards...
Right.
Okay.
Because you're my friend and you're my friend. So I don't tolerate trash behavior with my friends.
But does that mean
I'm not trying to fix their friendship. I'm just letting my other friend know if I see trash behavior, it's trash. That's all.
do you do it like Housewives of Atlanta style? Like when you're at the dinner table, you like so Kristen said.
Yeah, I'll let you know I still love you, but that's not cool. That's not cool. And so you might feel a little bit more separation from me right now, but I still love you until we can figure this out. But right now it's not okay. And it's really sad, but fortunately, our friend group has not been through a lot of that.
That's
at all.
crazy.
I know. Out of 20 friends, out of 20 women.
Like we need the
20
emojis. Right
women.
now.
It's 20 women. It has
Right.
not, it's been very, very, very few and far between. I can probably off of the top of my head in over 20 something years and 20 women, I could probably think of maybe 2 to 3 instances max. Because that is not how we roll.
Never.
Guinness World Book of Records.
Never.
I know.
Ever heard of
For
that
most
before.
friends for the longest time too.
Right.
I know.
For real.
Not exaggerating. But I can tell you this. I mean, getting off of that, like I became very tight with, like, not just you guys, but coworkers I worked with for like 5 years in the past. And that was a different set of circumstances too, because then you were mixing in like a lot of, work politics along with being very tight. And within the work politics, it was a family-run company, and your friends, and you're working together.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of tiptoeing. Could you imagine?
Yeah, because you can't. I remember when the first church that my husband pastored, everyone was related. So
You mean like everybody in the church?
like everyone had
Somehow, some way.
somehow, some way. So like there would be people who would get caught because they would say something bad about someone and they didn't know they were talking to their cousin.
Oh my God.
And you're just like,
See?
bro, like.
See?
It's like after a while, you just don't say nothing bad about no one.
I was gonna say that's in general, right?
Just don't-
Because you never know.
That's true.
You really never know.
And you absolutely can't be messy in church.
Right.
Unless you could know you're gonna stand behind it.
Right.
If it was to
like
come
I
to
said
you.
what I said. The time when your 20 friends came together and got you money and got you out of the toxic relationship, did you feel a little bit slighted because you knew that they were all talking about you kind of behind your back?
Not at all.
Okay. Explain.
Not at all. My heart was full. Because I was never going to ask them for anything. I was going to crawl across state lines before I asked them for a thing.
Because you're the strong friend.
Yeah.
Like they do in the army, the crawl.
Yeah, I was gonna do the army crawl. I was humbled at how strong our love was for each other.
After that moment, did you then feel like you could go to them for help in the future? Or are you still crawling?
I knew I could come to them emotionally.
Okay.
And I know that I could probably, if I ever needed to begin financially, but I still have reservations about financial stuff. So if I ever needed them financially, that would still be a struggle to ask for. That's just the thing overall for me as a person. So,
are you good with telling your friends that you're not okay? Whenever you're in that space?
Yeah. I think so.
Mm.
I think so.
It's the end for me.
I still kind of just want to go off into my corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, even still go. I mean, you can still go into your corner, but being like, yo, I'm not okay.
Are you good about telling your friends that you're not okay?
I'm better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's odd because it started with me being able to tell my mother that I wasn't okay, which is a whole nother topic. We ain't got time for all of that. But now, yes, like now I can be like,
That's
like,
entertaining.
yeah, today's just not a great day.
One?
No.
Yeah,
No, ma'am.
I'm much better at it now. And like even to the point where it's like, even if we're not like, if it's not on the topic, like if I'm just having a really rough day, I might just text and be like, hey, how you feeling? Because I'm not feeling so great. It doesn't have to be a whole thing, but I'm just trying to be more vulnerable. I'm trying to be the person that doesn't always seem strong because that's what I've been.
Yeah.
We're going to have another podcast about being a strong friend because I have questions.
Yeah.
But the other thing that we stated when we talked about this the first time was being consistent as a friend.
Oof.
That's something that you guys expect.
I need a fainting chair
Okay.
on this topic. Oh my gosh.
You need
Okay.
Chase Lounge, boo.
So what does that look like for you in terms of consistency? What does it mean? Because we already established that your friend doesn't always have to respond right away. You know, you understand they have different things going on in their lives. So what does consistency look like in a friendship?
I think consistency for me is showing up when like it's needed, whether it's we make dinner plans or we're going on a vacation or it's like, I'm just having a rough day. I just want to sit on a couch, have a glass of wine and chit chat with you. Like all things considered, like depending on the situation. I think it's showing up because I've been on the back end of
The flake.
someone that, whoo,
The flake was real.
I mean, but a croissant. Okay. Okay. And I just, you know, I am consistent. Like I show up for my people and I do expect it. You know, the unfortunate thing is people are going to be people sometime and you don't always get that. So I always just try to lead with that in my friendships. Again, with the expectation, not even the hope, with the expectation that you're going to show up for me too.
Yeah. I think she said it all. I agree.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much it. Show up, y'all.
Show up.
Show up. And I think that goes into the same. I think we kind of worded it a little bit different when we were talking about a two-way street, where kind of like you're respecting. I forgot when we first had this conversation, the context that we were talking about that was, but it was
Two-way street.
Yeah, it was expect a two-way street. So like, that's what it is. You were talking about, you know, like you always expect me to show up for you, like for your kids' things, your birthday parties.
Yep.
But when I'm having an event, even though it may not be a wedding or a birthday party, I still expect you to give the same love and appreciation for me like I give for all your things.
Yep.
I think that's what the context was.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I show up for all, and again, maybe it's because I'm the single friend of all of the friends that I have. So, you know, they're getting married, they're having babies, they're buying houses, they're moving, they're doing this and that. And I'm on the next train, plane, bus, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then what I realized is when I moved to California in 2020, there was only one person that like showed up for me. And she actually like went with me when I moved into my place to like, she stayed with me for a few days to get everything settled. Someone that I met like 3 years ago, mind you. Wow. So we were like still fairly new friends. But the others that I had been showing up for many years never came out. And
So
I
nobody
do try.
how many people visited?
None. Outside of my friend that went with me there.
Did they help you pack?
Nah.
Oh my god.
Well, granted, I told everybody 30 days before I left, so that it's fair.
3 days?
30.
Oh, that's enough time.
Yeah, but what I realized was, no, I didn't get married. No, I wasn't having a baby, but this move to California was really big for me. Like,
Right.
It was a turning point in my career, but also just in my life personally as Amelia, like growing into who I am. And, you know, I gave some leniency because it was COVID. So I'm like, I get it. Like, people are scared. We got things going on, blah, blah, blah. But then also, like, some of the people, like, flew to the West Coast.
Yeah.
So, like, you were in my hood and didn't think to be like, well, let me try to add an extra day or two just to kind of go, you know.
Yeah. And sometimes I feel like as a friend, I feel bad when friends don't show up for me because I'm like, am I expecting too much? Nah. Like if I go to your city and I'm like, hey, I'm here, let's hang out, and we're not able to meet up, is it wrong for me to be like, I don't feel like I'm gonna put as much energy into this the next time? Because
I at least give a heads up, like, hey, girl, I'm gonna be there, but I'm not gonna have time to see you unless you know you want to pop out of a hotel for like a quick drink or something. But you know, I at least try to give a heads up. But I was trying as you were talking, I was trying to think. My friends showed up.
I love it.
All 20 of them?
I didn't not all 20 at the same time. But just at some point or another. Like when, you know, during my trials and tribulations and moving here and there and, you know, whatever it was I needed to do, and I mean my good and bad, I can't think of a time that they did not that somebody wasn't representing the crew.
My heart.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I really can't.
That's amazing.
You know, so I don't think I have a bad story.
That's good. We're gonna clap for that
one. For real, like that's.
I like that.
And you said, okay, all women.
All
right.
Women. I love my girls. I love my girls.
Let's shout out to you girls.
Shout out to the girls.
Shout out to Kristen's friends.
Shout out to FAMU. Y'all know how to show up and do it. Okay.
Say that again. My rattlers.
Yeah, y'all the real ones. All right. Another thing that you said is good friend etiquette. Something that we're expecting of our friends is you want them to root for you. What does that look like?
Yeah.
In your friendships.
Oh my goodness. So I see that all the time, like on my social media. Like, you know, if I need support or if my girlfriends need support, no matter what you're doing, I don't know why I haven't put myself out there more, knowing that they will put me out there too. It's ridiculous. No matter what it is that you're venturing out there to do, whatever it is that you're trying to do, with this taking a break. I have a girlfriend that'll say, shout out to my girl, Kristen. She taking a 30-day break.
Oh, wow.
Good for her. Good for her. She about to spend 30 days not doing jack-ish. Okay?
Wow.
Let's celebrate not doing jack.
For real.
Seriously. Like, I mean, like, celebrate. Celebrate Black women. Celebrate your friends. Celebrate everything that they do. Honestly. And that's what that looks like. Like, just pump up your girls. That's what that looks like. And loudly, publicly, 24/7. Share. Hit that share button in everything. I mean, pass it along. I mean, every single moment. I went and got one of the first things, I'm trying to get my little proofreading, copy editing business off the ground. And just even talking to my hairdresser, once again, of course, another Black woman, you know, she put me on to like 2 different clients just off bat. Just another Black woman supporting another Black woman. And she didn't even know how good I was.
Right. She never read your work.
She had never read my work. Right?
Yeah.
It's just supporting Black women, supporting other Black women. And I am just 100% for that.
What about you?
So I think for me, mine is a bit more intimate. Like, I love, like, yes, share me, post me, all that good stuff. But I think for me, it makes my heart smile when I get the text of, like, yo, I'm super proud of you and what you're doing and what you're accomplishing. Like, I see you. Because for me, that's directly to me. Like, social media is for me too, but it's to share the wealth to people who really could care less about me at the end of the day, if we're being real. But I think it's in those moments where I get the text or if we're on the phone and I'm sharing something and you're like, yo, that is so dope. Like, that is amazing. Because I've also just recently had a situation where I was sharing, becoming vice president board of directors for the nonprofit, and I was just super excited about it.
Ow! Right, big up yourself.
Thank you. And I mean, didn't tell many people because again, I don't have 20, so
I've been bragging on you.
You know what? If y'all keep talking about this freaking 20. Hey, crew.
That's different.
I love it. Shoot.
Like, for real.
I love it.
Like, y'all are amazing. I have to see it, though. Like, I got to see it.
To believe it.
We had shirts made.
But I was telling her, I was telling a friend we were catching up. I was telling her about the thing, and she just immediately went into, like, the thing she's doing. And I was like,
red flag. Wait a
and it
minute.
wasn't, but I also think like this is one of the friendships that I've been kind of going back and ping ponging about, and just asking God like, what's up?
Right.
Because this is a person like we were talking every Sunday, like it was like our own little therapy session. This started back in like 2018, 19, well before the pandemic, and then obviously as the pandemic went and. I had whatever happened with me last year with my situation being laid off and everything. I kind of went into my little corner, and I don't know if she took offense to that, or what. But I just feel like the conversations now when we get on the phone, it's like unless I get my stuff out first,
you're not talking.
Oh my God.
Or I might get like 5 minutes. She'd be like, "Yeah, I got a meeting in like 20 minutes." I'm like, "So why you call me? You know how we do this. Why would you call me with 20 minutes?"
I have had superficial friends like that, where if you don't get your stuff out first, then you already know what the conversation is about to be.
So I don't know. Like I'm trying, again, trying not to be judgmental. Yeah. I'm also like in that space of not trying to be judgmental. But it's hard because it's like I know where we were, and I don't feel like we're there. And I feel like I'm trying a little bit more than maybe I should be. Right. But when that happened, I was like so excited to tell her, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm doing, my thing with the nonprofit with the firm and blah." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's what's up. Good for you. Great job, girl." Yay. And I mean, still rooting her on. Like I'm still rooting her on.
It feels away, right?
I felt a little slighted.
But you were telling her about your thing.
Yeah. So. Or it's like I'm talking to her like about my business and things I'm going on, and every time I say something, she's like, "What do you think about?" Like, I mean, copyright is cool. No, trademark is cool, but I mean, really, you need to be focused on copyright. And I'm like, like, I just want to share, like, what's happening.
Just be like,
I don't need the attorney right now.
Right.
I just need my friend.
Yeah.
To, like, hear me. When I ask for attorney stuff.
Right.
I'll tell you.
Go to.
Right.
Yeah.
Go to.
Yeah.
That's something I've been trying to figure out, too, is, like, sometimes you just want to vent to your friends. Yeah. And sometimes I'll literally ask, like, what do you want? You want me to just listen?
Yep.
Or you want advice? What you want? Like, I could be whatever.
Always ask. Always ask.
Right.
I ask. Always ask.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You want to just get it off your chest? Or you
can do that. That's cool, right?
Yeah. You want to get it off your chest, or you want me to tell you what I think about it?
Yeah.
Because I can do either.
Yeah.
That is so important.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try both. Because I don't think I'm really good at celebrating my friends online. Sometimes I'll text them and be like,
I'm trash at that, to be honest. I mean, I will support, but because I don't do social media.
Right,
so
you're an enigma. Okay?
So I admit it, I am trash.
Not trash. No, I support you in your non-social media, honestly.
Thanks,
it's beautiful.
You on Instagram. Barely, but you there.
I mean, it's there.
You there.
It's there. It's there. That's it. I love it.
Yeah. But I'm definitely gonna try to do better at celebrating my friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I feel it, like when I see them doing things, I'm like, yeah, you better go. I see your post, but I don't necessarily say it. So I'm gonna do better to let my friends know I see you, I support you.
No, because it feels amazing.
Yeah.
It feels amazing. It gives you that extra boost, especially when you're trying to do something you're very unsure of. It gives you that extra get up and go sometimes that you didn't think that you needed. So I always try to do that.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Support Black women, people. Support Black women.
Black girl magic. And all your friends are Black? Because you got A&M. That's
every last one.
I mean, that's even more amazing.
Right. If someone doesn't say, initially start a conversation and be like, listen, Kristen, I need you.
Mm-hmm.
I just need you to listen. How do you know when just to be quiet?
Ooh. For me, I feel like I can feel it or sense it, depending on the situation. Like if they're like talking about like work things or projects or business, like, okay, I'm gonna hype you up. You don't want to just sit here and tell me. You want me to like engage and be like, that's dope.
Yep.
But if you're like, I think I want to leave my husband, it might be like, ooh,
Pause it.
we're gonna sit right here,
Or
you're gonna be like, F these kids. Might be like I'm gonna sit right here and listen. I got you, girl. Yeah. What's up?
F them kids, girl. F them kids.
We'll
I
be
just
right
think
here
it
with you.
depends on the conversation, or if it, and then like leaving the space too. Also, I think sometimes what I've experienced is if somebody's talking about something, what I've been trying to really focus on and be cognizant of is if you're talking to me, if you stop, that doesn't mean that I need to interject. I'm just gonna sit there because maybe you just need to take a breath, or maybe you just need to think about what it is you just said or process whatever. So I'm gonna sit and let it simmer because generally they start talking again. So being an active listener, I'm working on that.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
I'm working on that because it could be like I hear the first 3 words and then it'd be like, yo, what you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can only let it, and it's so bad I'm working on it too, because I can only let it go on for so long. Like, okay, girl.
No, that's fair.
Like,
no, that's fair.
Like you've been rambling,
That's
and
fair.
I've let you do it because
fair.
I feel like you need to get out your system. But
No, that's
at
very
this
fair.
point, it's been 17 minutes. I'm gonna have to stop you.
That is fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
So,
Yep.
like, I got a book in my head now of things I need to say. So let's pause you.
Yeah.
Let's start me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you literally say that.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Let's pause you. Let's start me. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And because I got questions
Right.
and I got comments. So,
How many times did you let your friend come back like with the same issue?
ooh.
Like after the initial conversation, and then like the next time y'all talk, it's like, girl, yo, didn't we figure this out?
Okay. Okay. I
Or at least make progress?
No,
Like, I don't-
No.
I do have a friend that was going through something like really bad, and I can't believe I did this, but I mean, I'm gonna say a year and a half.
But was it the same thing, or was there
Yeah.
progress throughout the year and a half? Or was it just every time you was like, all right, here we go. I know I got.
No, it was the same stories. But I mean, it was some rough stuff.
It was worthy of.
Yeah,
that.
it was worthy of
Okay.
that. It was rough for me, but it was.
But
rough.
as your friend, you took on the responsibility.
Yeah, she needed it. It was hard for her. It was hard for her.
Well, I think that's different
But
in a way.
But yeah, for a year and a half. Yeah, for a year and a half, we were just on the same. We were in a loop.
So are you talking about, like, for instance, a friend's coming up to you and like they're dealing with insecurity about this one thing, they're not sure to do it, and you guys talk through it, and then then they come back.
And they come back. I'm like, what's going on? Ugh, well, girl, the same conversation, and I'm like, it gets to a point like after like the second time, I'm like, okay, if you're making this decision, I need you to be content with that, and we don't need to have this conversation again.
For real? Yeah.
Because it's like, it's one of those things. It's like you complain about a job that you go to, but you get up every day and you go to that job. You don't go look for another one. You just complain about the job you have. Like, nobody has time for that.
So you don't want to be anyone's like emotional dumpster.
Nah, because like my mentor told me, plants can die if you don't feed it, or if you don't water it, or if you're feeding it trash.
Yeah.
So if you're feeding me trash, I'm taking that in. I'm taking all of that in, and that's not good for me.
Yeah.
That's not good for any of us.
Now, if you're making moves and you're complaining when you're making the moves,
That's different.
You
that's
complain
something
about step
different.
3.
You're making
to the
moves
problem.
though, right? You're making moves
Right.
though.
Yep.
We're
You're
not still
making
on
moves,
step 1.
right.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
And that's not
good.
trash. That's just, this is the hard stuff that I'm going
Right.
through.
This is
I'm
the
trying to
problem.
get
This is
through.
the new problem that I've
Yes.
experienced since we last talked. Because
Yes.
I've made progress.
Yeah.
We're on step 1. Now we're on step 3, and this is my issues with.
Because that's
step
exactly where I am. So
Right.
every day is like, yep, what I thought yesterday is absolutely not the thing, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
It's not that. It's really not that.
I know.
Okay. So we might have already covered this, but we'll start with Amelia. Amelia, tell me about a simple action that someone did that had a positive impact on you.
I think it was one day you called me and we had a conversation. And at the end of the call, you said, how can we show up for each other and support each other? No one had ever asked me that.
Oh.
From a friend perspective, and I consider you a friend. So.
Thank you. I was not expecting that. I'm not crying. It's all good. We not. Ain't nothing happening over here. All right. Dang, Amelia. I did not see that coming. All right. In 3 words or less, tell me what are good qualities of a friend. Now you can hear the questions.
Yeah.
Support. Consistency. Love.
I should have did the same question.
That's why I thought she was going with it.
That
We're too late now. We're in it. We're in it.
That was
We're
my
in it.
initial thought, and
We're in it.
and then your answer
late.
threw me off. So it's technically your fault. That's what we're going with. So we're gonna tell me.
Now we're gonna do.
Now we're gonna switch.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Tell me about a simple action that someone did that had a positive impact on you. Other than your friends getting you at it because you already
Right.
You can't use that word.
Right. I had a coworker who ended up being a friend who showed up for me at one of the absolute lowest points of my life. It was a very low point for me. And that showed me that I could have friends outside of folks that, the 20 friends that I met in college. But, her and I became very cool after that. But it was absolutely, out of all the years that I've lived on this earth, she showed up for me very hard. And it was absolutely the deepest, lowest point in my life. I mean, under the earth.
Yeah.
And I was sick, and I was in pain, and I was in a detrimental place. And she came through for me and my family with no thoughts about it. And it showed me humanity.
That's beautiful.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. In 3 words or less, tell me what are the good qualities of a friend.
Laughter.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Love. Loyalty.
Oh, 3 O's. Okay, I see you.
Yeah. With the alliteration.
Right? Yeah, I was trying to think of what word that was. I guess it's something with alliteration. All right, you got it. All right. Okay. And today, who would you, and this is the hard part, pick one person that you would give flowers to right now for being a good friend or being part of your circle community that you kind of want to shout out right now?
My friend Geneva, the one that went with me to California.
Shout out to you, Geneva.
That's my girl.
And you?
Don't make me do that.
I know. You got 20.
I'm not doing that.
She not doing it. It's
Nope.
okay.
Friend number 16.
No.
Now it's the numbers.
I absolutely refuse. You are not going to have my head on the chopping block.
I'm weak.
No, ma'am.
I'm weak.
No.
Her husband.
No.
Kristen would like to shout out her
No.
husband.
I plead the 5th. No.
What you want for?
Bruh man. She on the 5th floor.
Oh, okay.
No.
Gotcha.
No.
Right.
Love it, but absolutely not.
She's like, y'all not doing that to me. All right, we'll take that one because we know that you got 20 people who will be coming after you. All right, guys. Well, tell us how we can follow you. What's your social media handles?
So the Instagram that I have is I'm not human, I'm perfect.
Yes, and I'll link it in the show notes. And Kristen, where can people find your movie and TV show reviews?
Yeah. On Facebook at Kristen Glanton, and I'm gonna spell that for you. It's Chris.
No, you don't have to. I'll link it.
KRISTENGLANTON. She's gonna have it all wherever.
Yes, it's gonna be linked.
Yes, it's Kristen Glanton. It's very simple. It's me.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope that I definitely learned some things. Like, 20 friends is the whole. I am still thrown. But I hope that you guys have a good day. Thank you for spending this time with us. We really appreciate it. And don't forget to make someone smile today. All right, bye.
Hey, Crystal here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for spending time with me, for letting me be in your ear, and thank you for being a part of my community. But listen, if you've gotten any type of value from the Link Life podcast, I need you to do me a favor. Subscribe. If you're listening on any podcast platform, please rate and review. This will allow our podcast to get bigger and to grow and to put it in front of more like-hearted people. Once we do that, we can create more content and have bigger and better episodes, as well as more dynamic guests. So please take some time to subscribe, to rate, to review, and share with anyone that you think would get value from the Link Life podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of my community.